Welcome to the Holy Yogi, where we help you find the spiritual guru inside of you. Hello, beautiful. Hello, handsome. How you doing today? And if no one has told you today that they love you, let me be the first. I love each and every single one of you because love makes the world go round and round and round. And truly, love is the greatest medicine of them all. And simply put, ladies and gentlemen, love always wins. And with that said, what we're going to do is start the Holy Yogi Show today. But before we begin, what do we got to do? We got to like, comment, subscribe, and ding, 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 ding. Hit the notification bell so we can give you information every single day on how you can live heaven right here on earth. Okay, with that said, before we begin, we already did that script, didn't we? Okay, what we're going to do, what we're going to talk today about is African spirituality. Happy Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa. Haborigani. In Haborigani, when we wake up in the morning time, we say that. And in the community of Swahili language, that means what's the news. And the news of the day on the third day of Kwanzaa in 2021 is Ujamaa. And that's my favorite one. It is my favorite one. It is cooperative economics. We will build businesses, control the economics of our community, and we will work and we will build wealth among each other socially. It's about conscious capitalism. You know, a lot of people don't know. It seems like an oxymoron to say conscious capitalism, that we work together for the betterment of the whole so all of us can build wealth. There's enough to go around and abundance to go around for each and every single one of us, okay? So what I wanted to dive into that so we can build that, because unfortunately, and I'm being optimistic about it, and I want us to get the faith, pour that faith into it, is that in the African American community in America, we don't have not one black town. Not one African American town, not one. But we have Jewish town, we have Italian town, we have Korean town, we have Chinatown, we have Mexico town. You know, we have every other culture has their own community, has their own town, have their own resources. And ironically, especially I learned that when I was like in New York. I mean, I really got it when I was in New York. We kind of had it in Philadelphia where I was born and raised. You know, we did have it in Philadelphia. We had, they call it Little Italy in South Philly, you know. Everybody had their little section, but I really got it in New York, because it was so defined. You knew when you crossed the street and when you were in another town. It was so blatant and so obvious. But everybody's got a town but us. And why is that? And I don't want to get into, there are some blatant racist and white supremacist blocks that contributed to why. But what I'm very clear about, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very clear about it. We have control over what we put in our minds. We got control over what we put in our mouths. And we got control over what we put in our pockets. And I'm going to talk about, when I mean by pockets, I mean the economics of what we do with our money and where we spend it. And the reality of the situation is we have gotten out of the business of supporting our own business. Ironically, when we were segregated, when we were forced to only be able to do business and work among ourselves, we had a black town. Okay, because you went to the black barber, you went to the black dentist, you went to the black lawyer, you went to the black farmer, you went to the black supermarket, you went to the black what I'm gonna say, not grocery store, I want to say not supermarket, I want to say mall, for lack of a better term. You got all your resources, and what happened is the money turned around several times in the community. They say in the Jewish community, it lasts for like, I don't know, 20, 30 days before the money leaves the community. In our community, it lasts about 20, 30 minutes. It doesn't stay in our community. And even if it is in our community, everybody's in our community making money off of us. When you go to the nail salon, who do you see? When you go to the convenience store, who do you see? When you go to the bank, who do you see? Everybody but us. And until we get into the business of creating our own community, our own Black community, what I mean by community, this is how it has to look, okay? I wanted you to get the vision, because I read where this family got together and they bought 100 acres, actually somewhere in Georgia, where I live in the state of Georgia, and I'm hoping they build their own town. But in order to have a town, you have to have a couple of things. You have to have a hospital. You have to have a bank. You have to have a supermarket. And you have to have a school. Those are the 4 things you have to have. Now, I'm going to add a couple things too, because what I'm looking at, you still need that's why I was pausing for the cause. You're going to need a fire department. You're going to need a police department. You're going to need a city hall to take care and manage, the city, to collect those taxes, etc., throughout the community. But that's the basic foundation that you have to have. Okay, so that means we need lawyers, we need public administrators, we need just nurses and doctors and just well-versed individuals in all sectors, which we have. We have all this education. We have all these wonderful HBCUs, which are historically Black colleges and universities, that have educated to the nth of African Americans that cannot get a job. And they don't need a job. They need to start creating businesses and start creating cities, communities, nation, races, not races, but communities, so that, we can all thrive and get together. So that's what we really should be, really focusing 100% of our energies on, because once you do that, once you can at least control a certain aspect of your environment, it lessens the chances of a lot of blatant discrimination when you go to the bank and you're trying to get a loan. But if they know who you are and they know your proper work ethic, and then you build a school system that teach you the proper way of handling finances and handling funds, as well as, reading, writing, and arithmetic, type of thing. We can start from ground zero and really create a community that deals with holistic healing, holistic wealth building, etc., the better that it will be for each and every single one of us. So how is this working in my world? Well, the key thing about it is owning a business. Well, if you're going to talk to a line, I'm like a line of my Jamaican friends. I own several businesses. And the objective of all those businesses is to build residual, passive income. And I'm talking about 7 streams coming into my house on a daily basis is my goal and what I'm working on to this day. I don't save money as much more as I invest money, because saving money is just leaving me broke. Okay, I gotta have that money turning for me each and every single day. You build wealth by your money working for you while you're sleeping. That's real wealth building. If you're doing linear type of income, which meaning you go to work and you get paid, well, there's only one of you, and it's but so much work that you could do on a daily basis, and so that means there's but so much money that you can make. Okay, so we've got to really scale it so that, like I said, while I'm sleeping, I'm making money. And luckily for me, I've created several businesses for me to be able to do that, and I have not been employed for over 20 plus years. So I'm excited about that and I'm proud of it. But more importantly, what my goal is to do, I'm creating, Bomani Village Academy. It takes a village to raise a billionaire. That's the goal. And I'm building it so that I'm helping other people do the same thing too. Because nobody's going to take care of you better than you. In America, unfortunately, we are still last hired, first fired, making 50 cents to every white man's dollar. Let's keep it real. That's the reality. So since we know that, we got to do better. We are still, unfortunately, at a state in the United States of America of still making the same type of income since slavery. We haven't budged, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, a lot of it has to do by design plan. But like Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. And we've got to do better. Certain things, like I said, we've got to not let our credit go bad. We've got to build the world and not buy a Tesla, even if we're making $100,000 a year. Because we know that money's going towards a liability, which is taking money out of our pocket instead of an asset. Take $100,000 and put it in an asset, like an investment property, like real estate, that's putting money into our pocket. Okay, so that's what it's all about. I mean, that should be your goal, and more importantly, you want to think about doing it not for yourself but for other people. And that's what I'm proud about. Is because once ever I get any type of knowledge, I share that knowledge. I give that knowledge to other people so that they can become millionaires, so that they can become thousandaires, so that they can get their credit up to par and achieve their goals and their dreams for themselves, or more importantly, for their families. And I teach people how to build generational wealth. You see, unfortunately, my family did not do that for me. And we constantly repeat, we're going up a down escalator. We constantly repeat the cycle over again. It's like when our parents die, that's it. They leave nothing to help give us a jump start. But that doesn't happen to other communities. They take pride, and it's a part of their spiritual culture of making sure that they're leaving something to their family. And that's why in a couple of videos before, I was explaining to you, my Christmas gift was that I'm giving my children, a lifetime experience that when I leave, they have something to work with, okay? But I'm going to choose to leave. I decide when I come and I decide when I go, okay? So I'm going to leave them with millions of dollars, and I'm training them, and it's their responsibility, or it will be their karma, to do the same thing for their family members. You see, there's an African proverb that states that we prepare 7 generations ahead. We forgot that. We've got to get back into it. That's why Kwanzaa is so powerful, because it reminds us every year, are we on course with those 7 principles? Are we doing Ujamaa? And I can say honestly, I am preparing for that miracle. Yes, is it going to be a challenge? You see, Dr. Martin Luther King, and people don't realize this, but Coretta Scott King said it from her own mouth, that they didn't kill Martin Luther King because of a dream or because he was trying to get civil rights. They killed him because he was trying to get silver rights, okay? He was trying to enforce the poor man's movement. He was trying to bring attention to Capitol Hill. Matter of fact, before they killed him, in August, they had prepared for a march on Washington to really root for and to bring greater awareness of the economic plight of the poor man. Of course, he made a poor man because black people weren't the only ones that were poor. And he was trying to bring attention to the plight of everybody because, of course, the struggles of trying to get any type of law passed just for black people was a challenge within itself. But if he could lump in all poor people, which there were millions more, then results could happen. And as soon as that happened, Martin Luther King was no longer here. So if they were willing to kill Martin Luther King over economics, then that means it really shows you how powerful it is and how that is the way they are trying to keep us in an enslaved condition. You see, the word salary is too close to slavery, and that's all a job gives you is a salary which keeps you enslaved to the boss and to the system. You don't have control of your destiny. But when you own your own business, you do. And that's why it's paramount that people focus on owning their own. And more importantly, once you get that business, what you got to do is that you have got to run that business very well. Okay? I've tried to support tons of Black businesses, but they're not taking care of business. Okay? Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Okay? All right? We've got to do it well. And not only when we have these businesses, we got to go around and we got to support each other businesses too. I mean, my Jewish friends have taught me so well. I used to work for so many Jewish companies. And one thing that was very, very clear, they always supported each other's businesses. They didn't ask for anything free. What they would do, they would go and they would pay. When they went to go see their Jewish lawyer, they would pay for it. But that Jewish lawyer in turn would come and bring his whole entire family and have a meal at their Jewish restaurant, for example. Okay? That's how it works. So that money could continue to circle and turn around. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to get to the next level economically because we're already being boycotted. If you look at all the majority of Black businesses, they're only being supported by Black people. They're not being supported by any other race majority of the times, unfortunately. There are always exceptions to the rule, like Rihanna, etc. But like I said, exceptions to the rule, but majority of them, if it's to be up to me mentality, until we support each other, that is the only way it is going to get done. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not free in America until you are financially free. And when you are financially free, you're in control of your destiny. No, it's not the be-all and end-all. Don't get me wrong. Politics plays a major role. But it is truly a wonderful start. So I hope you enjoyed this fabulous message. What I want you to do is tell me what Ujamaa means to you, cooperative economics. Okay, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I want to wish you peace, love, joy, and happiness. Hetapu namaste. Have a fantastic, glorious day. Bye-bye for now.